slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A toss play to Chubb. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Pull it good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken at the 3. Fighting him off. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Let's go.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Mayfield with a quick fire to Landry. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Third and short yardage. Mayfield looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Well, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. They'll set up a throw. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
You're not ready. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Forced out to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Ready, set. Hey, orbit. Watch your slap. Watch your slap.
2nd and 2. Eluding the pressure right. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Browns nothing.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, ready.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Bengals first down.
Here we go. Here we go. 60 outlaw. X3. 218. Chopper. Check. Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Back to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they... There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
From the 22, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
180. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Now on second and 13. Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Geno Atkins. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. He's going to wind up and air it out. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
On the ready.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, his second touchdown on the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Mayfield. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
To throw, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And again, it's Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
You must be
So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, we're 33.
Mayfield to throw it. Going up top. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
57's right. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Hey, check Mike 57.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5.
Get ready, get ready.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 37-yard line.
180! 58, come on! Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
Mayfield. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards.
And the Browns first down.
Mayfield now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Mayfield on play action. It's caught by Bryant. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off around the 27. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for the Bengals TV. Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead will swell by one more.
Bengals 38, Browns nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Tight end right. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down. My touch.
Throwing, Mayfield. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
You don't want it.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The keeper. A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Browns' 47-yard line.
And look at this, the punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's 2nd down. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Browns drive about to get started, and they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 5-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now here's Ross. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. And what is going on here? Are they serious? 1st down, and they're in punt formation. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 19-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Mayfield now. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Play fake. Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Come on, oh, come on, oh.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Von Bell. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They toss to Mixon. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Second and 9 now. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. They're going to look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Mayfield now from the 50. He's got Hooper on the short connection, and he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. Again, it's Miller. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Second and 6. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Now the ball comes loose, and the Bengals have recovered it.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
Ready.
Mike by two. Target.
Beat grip.
And they will take a knee here.
Got it. Here we go. 8-3.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bengals, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries, competition.